Have you ever been in a situation where you just thought that your gift or your thing that you were sharing was just not good enough or was not big enough for whatever the situation was? I've been in those situations before where you feel like your gift isn't adequate or maybe you didn't match up to somebody else's thing. But it got me thinking to the early church. And this week, as I'm preparing the children's lesson, we're talking about how the believers shared what they had. And that key phrase there is what they had. The believers weren't going above and beyond to have extravagant events or finding the perfect thing for the perfect person. But rather, they were just going into their pantries, they were going into their houses and saying, hey, you know what? I have this and I don't need it anymore, and I bet you this person could probably use it. There's a lot of ways that we can do that, even now in this coronavirus crisis. Some nights Rose and I make too much food, and we have more than enough. And in fact, it's so much that sometimes we have leftovers beyond leftovers. And so we call our friends or we text our neighbors and we say, hey, we made too much food. Do you want some for dinner? Really easy way to share. Something that's I've already made, something that is already in my house. I'm not looking for the perfect person to give it to, but it's a really easy way to share something that we have that God has blessed us with. But especially right now, I think more than ever, one of the easiest gifts that we have to share is our time. We have time at home. Maybe instead of watching another movie or TV show one night, maybe you call up your neighbor. Maybe you call up somebody that's lonely or that just needs some encouragement and spend an hour talking to somebody on the phone. Just a couple days ago, I went over and visited our neighbor, whose name is Marge, and she lives alone. And we ended up chatting for almost a half hour just because she just wanted somebody to talk to. And so when you're thinking about sharing in this crazy time, there's some really simple, really easy ways for us to share and still be safe. Maybe just give somebody a phone call. Maybe just give somebody a talk across the street, whatever it is. Find some way to share, and by sharing, share God's love and share the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Just like the early church did. Let's look inside our houses. Let's look inside our homes, our families. What can we share? And if we can't find anything physical to share, maybe just sharing our time is sharing God's love and sharing God's good news.